So today, I'm going to show you how to make a cube maker for Bedrock Edition. This design doesn't require any observers or comparators. So this just requires pistons, levers, and redstone repeaters. So let me just demonstrate it in action. So as you can see, there's a row of mud blocks that's already almost stacked up to the top. And then you got a row down here that's almost complete too, towards the end. So we're going to put our mud block here. That'll push it forward. As you can see, pistons move it forward. All right, so this is pretty simple to make. Let's get started. The material list will be in the description, but this is your general material list. So you'll need a few obsidian, solid blocks, glass, redstone blocks, regular pistons. You'll need lots of these. Sticky pistons, you only need about 5. Redstone repeaters, levers, redstone torches, and of course redstone dust. So the first thing we're going to do is chunk a line. So we're going to mark out a chunk border and find our center, and then from there grab your solid blocks. We're going to go towards the chunk border right here, and then we're going to count 2 blocks from this chunk border. So this is 1, that's 2. We're going to put down a block here and here. Then we're just going to make a row of block towards the chunk border on the left and right side, but leave a 1 block gap like this. So chunk border, the gap, solid block. We're going to do that on this side as well. Chunk border, gap, block. Okay. So next thing we're going to do is grab our pistons, regular pistons. We're going to place them down like so. So these will be the pistons that push your blocks upward. Okay, after we've done that, go to either side and determine if you're going to have your items coming from here or here. So I want my items to come in from this side. So on the opposite side, I'm going to put down 2 glass right here, lined up with the pistons. Put down a redstone repeater, 1 tick, a lever, and flick it on so the repeater will be powered. And then on the blocks behind the pistons, we're going to put redstone dust. So it should look something like this. Okay, for this side, the side where your items are coming in, I'm going to have the items coming from this direction, so it's going to come in this way and then get pushed this way. So with that in mind, let's get rid of that placeholder block right there. We're going to put down 1, 2, 3, 4 glass like this. The glass that's on the chunk border right here, we're going to put a regular piston like so. We're going to put redstone dust behind it. So you're going to put 2. We're going to put obsidian block above the redstone dust directly behind this piston. We're going to put a temporary block, another regular piston facing the opposite direction. So this one will push forward, this one will push backwards. Get rid of that temporary block. We're going to put a glass between this piston and this obsidian block. Then on top of this piston here, we're going to put a redstone torch. 2 redstone dust is here, and then a redstone torch on the side of this obsidian, which will be turned off because of this one. Next thing we're going to do is come right here. We're going to put 2 more glass, 1, 2, like so. Have a repeater on 1 tick facing towards where this piston will receive the blocks. A lever, and we're going to flick that on. So with this, anytime a solid block comes here, this will activate the piston, which will push it forward. And then once it gets to this one, this repeater will power the block that gets here, which will power this redstone dust in turn, which will cause the pistons down here to push them upwards. So let me demonstrate. As you can see, like so. All right, let me get this out of the way. Now, we're going to go behind these pistons and these solid blocks right here. We're going to get 2 temporary blocks going up by 2, like so. 1, 2. And then we're going to put solid blocks on top of that. Get rid of those temporary blocks, and we're going to go down by another 11 to make it 12, like so. Now, on the face of these solid blocks, we're going to put regular pistons looking forward, like so. And then we're going to put another row of pistons on top of it. And it'll look something like this. So you have your solid block right here and 2 rows of pistons on top of it. So a 2x12 of piston and just 1x12 of solid blocks. And of course, on the solid blocks, we're going to put redstone dust like so. Now, on top of that redstone dust we just placed, we're going to put more solid blocks. We're going to go down by additional 11, so it should be a 12, like so. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did down here. We're going to put pistons facing outwards from the face of that block, and then another row of pistons on top of those pistons, and redstone dust on top of them, like so. So we're just going to do this until we have 12 by 12 of pistons. So that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. So far we're at 4 of 12. We need to make this a few more times to have 12 by 12. I'll be back once I finish that. Okay, and we're back. You should have something that looks like this. This is a 12 by 12 of pistons, and it should look like this in the back. So you should have 6 rows of solid blocks behind the 12 by 12 of pistons, and all of those solid blocks should have redstone dust on them. The row of solid blocks should be 12 long, just like how the pistons are 12 long. Alright, now that we've got that done, we're going to go to the sides of the pistons right here. We're going to use solid blocks. We're just going to go all the way up with the solid blocks. We're just going to wrap around the pistons with these solid blocks. And go like this. And of course you won't be able to put any solid blocks here because your repeater and your glass is here, but that's fine. So it should look something like this. Now, because the repeater that's responsible for these pistons activating is on our left side, we're going to make the repeater responsible for the pistons pushing forward on the left side as well. So let's go to our top left corner, and then this top left piston right here. We're going to put a regular piston on the solid block above it. We're going to put Obsidian in front of that one. We're going to put Redstone Torch on top of that piston here. Put a glass on the side of that piston. 2 Redstone Dust on the glass, and then on this block right here. Make sure you do it this way, because if you put the Redstone Dust here, this will cause this piston to activate when you don't want it to. And then finally we're going to put Redstone Torch here, which will be turned off because of this one right here. So we're almost done here. So now we just need to put in the system to cause all of these to push forward. So we're going to go down to where these solid blocks are. We're going to put glass here. Put a redstone dust right there. And then come down to this side. You can put a glass here to help you, or you don't have to, but you can. You're going to put a glass. We're going to get our sticky pistons. And have our sticky piston where they're facing downward, like so. And then we're going to get our redstone block, like so. So your redstone block should line up with your solid blocks like this. The same thing with your glass here. Alright, so we made this first one. Redstone torch here. Power will go here. This piston will push down, which will power these and send the signal over here. So underneath this glass, we're going to put another sticky piston, another redstone block. And then when this gets powered, this pushes the redstone block down, send the power all the way over here, and we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing over here. So I'm going to put a glass right here to help me. Sticky piston, redstone block, this gets pushed down, this powers all of these. We're going to put a glass above this right here, another sticky piston, redstone block, like so. This pushes down, this powers this. Put a glass here, sticky piston facing downward, another redstone block. This pushes down and powers this. So that's the last one that you need. So it should look something like this. Remember, redstone torch and on top of this piston here that has obsidian block in front of it. It will unpower this torch, but when this gets powered, this will power this whole 2 rows of pistons right here, which will cause this sticky piston to go down and then power this row of 2 pistons, and then it'll just keep doing that going down the line. So it should look something like this. And now finally we're going to go back to our top left piston right here. We're going to go diagonally down by 1 right here. We're going to put 2 glass here, like so. I'm going to put a repeater on 1 tick, and we're going to have a lever and flick it on. So it should be like that. So once the block reaches here, that block will cause this piston to be powered, which will invert this redstone torch, which will allow this to turn on. So let me demonstrate. As you see, it pushes it forward. And then the same thing with over here. When the block gets here, this piston causes these to push it up. And then when the block gets here, it causes this piston to push it forward. So that's the build done. Now if you want to make yourself like a ladder or a scaffolding or whatnot to get up here, so you can dig out the cube, mine out the cube of whatever material that you got it going in there, you can, but I won't be showing you how to do that. That's pretty straightforward. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.